Hey everyone! Today I want to continue the series about road trips, and I have my computer in front of me, everything is ready, and today I want to talk to you about two things. What to pack, because that is very important, and little tricks to save money, and I'm going to talk about money a little bit. This will be the last video of this series because you can read in my blog. The rest is just about the places that I've been on, even though I have not caught up yet. I'm behind in a lot of places because I've been in a lot of places the last 3 years, and between school and whatnot, it has taken me a little longer to catch up with the blog. But the first thing I want to tell you today is what to pack and how to pack. I know that there's this trending about being minimalistic, and it's great, especially if you are traveling with more than another person in your car, if you don't have an RV and whatever. It is very important to just not stress yourself with having a lot of things in the car or whichever automobile you use. But the reality is that you don't know what's going to happen. So they say, oh no, you just pack what you need. But reality is that you don't really know what you need. In my experience, I've traveled to places that I didn't thought it was going to snow, and it snowed, and I was not prepared. And unless you have a lot of money to just go buy what you need, which I don't recommend that, because you're spending money whether you have planned for emergencies or not. You don't want that to be an emergency, So I'm going to teach you certain things that I have learned. This is whether traveling and road trip, actually, or whether even traveling overseas. Last year I went with my school to Europe, and they told us, hey, you know what, you're going to be able to do laundry, so don't pack too much clothes and whatever. And I thought it was just a great idea, because I'm still learning a lot and I'm traveling, and we did not have the opportunity to do laundry at all, so I had to improvise. So my first recommendation is to pack a daily change of clothes. For every day that you're planning to be on your trip, pack a daily change of clothes. Now, if in a road trip tends to be a little bit more, feasible for you to do laundry, and hotels do, especially in the United States, do have, even motels do have a laundry. So you could always do that. For if you're planning on do that, or if you're planning just the option, I do recommend keep a bag of quarters, because obviously they cost money. Keep a bag of quarters, keep a bag with the Tide Pods, or whatever detergent you use. Nowadays most of the detergents have the pods, and then a bag of like dry sheets if you use that. And because you may have the opportunity, and that will be great, that will be ideal. But pack a daily change of clothes for every day that you're planning to be on your trip. I will also recommend to pack 2 extra change of clothes, just in case. You don't know if you're not gonna, like, something happens to what you wore that day and you have to change, or something rips. Whatever the case may be, just pack 2 more just in case, because we never know. Reality is we never know what could happen. Sandals, also flip-flops. I put it here in my blog. Again, I'm going to add the link to this blog to the description below if you want to read it. Sandals. Let's say you're going to a place that is going to be raining, or that is going to be snowing, whatever the case may be. Take them with you. You don't know if you're going to need them. Say you want to go into a hot tub. You're going to need them unless you plan to wear your sneakers or whatever shoes you took with you to the hot tub and then out of it. Just sandals are very useful. And then depending on the places, some places are very sketchy, especially if you're going with the big adventure and you're just gonna stop at like campgrounds instead of like a hotel. You may want to use them for your shower. You do not want to shower bare feet in places like that. So always pack sandals. Always also pack closed shoes. But I'm going to go the extra mile here and say pack walking or running shoes, because you're definitely going to need those to walk. And you're going to need those, for rainy days, for muggy days. If you're not a person, because I know a lot of people that they just do not like closed toe shoes, I get that, but you don't know even when you're gonna need them. So pack them just for the sake of emergency. Underwear. For underwear, I recommend you take two per day. So if you're going for a week, just pack 14, because again, you never know what can happen. Even if you don't like wearing underwears, I get that, but just pack them because you may need them. And if you don't need them, great, but you may need them. Socks. Okay, so I really don't know anybody that doesn't like socks, because even people that wear sandals, usually they wear sandals with socks on. Just pack one per day. The same with your daily change of clothes. Pack one pair of socks per day. Accessories. Now this is the tricky part, because accessories is depending. Like some people don't like wearing jewelry when they travel. When I go overseas, I don't wear any jewelry at all. When I am in the States and I'm going on a road trip, I usually wear like little earrings and maybe a necklace. Um, and depending, maybe if I'm taking a road trip for like a big event, obviously I'm gonna pack, uh, the appropriate accessories that I need to take with me. But accessories also include hats, gloves, scarves, depending on your fashion style. This is what I'm gonna say about this: hats, gloves, scarves. Always keep one pair with you, because again, even during the summer, you don't know what you're gonna find. And it might be a cold place. Like I've traveled to Canada and Alaska in the middle of the summer, and it's still pretty cold, guys. So you know, um, just have that with you, because you don't know. You don't know if you're gonna need it. And pack always an umbrella as well, or a poncho, one of those that cover weather, especially if you're traveling overseas, because you never know. Have that with you. Have that with you. You could make a little bag with like emergency weather, or something like that, type of accessories, just in case. For girls, if you're asking me about makeup, if you're traveling, I mean, you always want to look great, which is perfect. But, you don't need much more than mascara, a little bit of eyeshadow, a lipstick, and eyeliner. Now, in regards to toiletries, well, you know what you need: toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner. You need deodorant, all of the good stuff. So definitely make sure you pack those, because you are absolutely going to need them. Perfume, if you like it, take it. If you don't like wearing perfume, don't take it. Shaving creams, take wipes with you. Here's why. Sometimes you go to places where you may not find toilet paper, and wipes is just easier to pack than toilet paper. Now, if you want to take toilet paper with you, perfect. But always have it in like a fanny pack or something, because you never know when you're gonna need it. And extra of the things that usually run out, like shaving creams. If you use shaving creams, razors, things like that, little things like that. You know what you need for toiletries. Definitely the basics are mandatory, but everybody needs something different. So that's for that. Now, in regards to, I talked about laundry. In regards to traveling hacks and how to save money. So if you do what I said about packing a pair of changing clothes per day and extra, then you don't have to do laundry and you save that money. Credit card usage. Let me tell you this. I am a big supporter that you do not take a road trip until you actually have the money in the bank. No, do not use your credit card. Now, if whatever life circumstances you're going through and you don't have the money, but you think it's the right thing to go on a road trip, and you do have the credit card, you have thought this through, you have prayed about it, and you want to go on this road trip and use your credit card, this is my suggestion for this. Go to a store, and this is like Walmart, whatever store may be. They have these prepaid cards or prepaid credit cards, and they go from $50, I think even $25, to like thousands. Buy one of those and put a lot of money in that. This is why. Your credit points will go down as you use your credit card because, you know, the more you use your credit, the more you owe and whatnot. But more than what you owe, they're going to look at the amount of times that you have swiped that card and use it. So if you put all the money that you think or estimate that you're going to use, or at least the bulk of it, into a prepaid credit card, you're not going to be swiping your actual credit card many times. So they're just going to see a huge purchase, and that's all. Yes, that's still going to go into the amount that you owe, and that will factor into your credit going low, but it's not going to be as impactful as swiping your credit card over and over. I find that out in my last trip because I ran out of money. Well, I didn't run out of money. I just wanted to save it for something else. So I used my credit card for my last bit of the road trip, and I realized that it's like, well, they're counting the amount of times that I passed my credit card, not the amount of money that I spent, because it was like little tiny things. It was food, and I'm like, I get what they're doing. So just put a chunk of money into a prepaid credit card. That's gonna make a big difference because lenders and like credit lenders like that, what they look at is the amount of times that you use it. Yes, they do look at your the amount of money that you owe, but it's just the amount that you use it. For food, you know, we talked about staying healthy. Staying healthy on the road is very difficult. You could spend a lot of money in restaurants when you're trying to eat healthy. So if you're a healthy guru, if you're obsessed with that, be mindful that you're going to be spending a lot of money to stay healthy on the road. I did that for a while and I was like, this is not going to work. There is always a place or two where you could get a salad, where you could get something healthy-ish, but reality is that when you're traveling the road, there is no way to be 100% healthy because you're not going to be cooking everything from scratch, and you're not going to be getting food cooked from scratch. Let's face it, even the local diners, they still have processed food. So that's just going to happen. And now, if you want to save money on where you're going to stay, I'm going to say this. Airbnb is your best friend. Honestly, is your best friend. The places are just as good or even better sometimes than hotels. Don't get me wrong. I love hotels. I love Motel 6. I love Roof Inn, especially if you're traveling with pets like I mentioned in my first video. But Airbnbs are rooms or cottage, like it could be houses, apartments, tiny homes. They have a plethora. It depends on what you're looking for to stay on, and it's hosted by the owner, like the owner of the house rents your room or something, and it's quite the experience. It gives you more of an insight of the place where you're staying than the hotel does. Like I said in my first video, hotels are very touristic. Airbnbs provides you a more in-depth perspective of the local community. You may get to talk to the person that is hosting you, especially if you live in the same house. That's how I met my friend Ian in Canada. I was staying in his house and we talked quite a lot. And to this day, you know, we still chat from time to time. And it was really fun. I met this adorable couple in Salem, Oregon. I stayed with them for a week and they made me food. It was amazing. You know, you get to explore more when you integrate yourself into the community through an Airbnb than through a hotel. You also save money. Let's face it, hotels are business. Airbnbs is just an extra, you know, another way for them to make extra money. They're not looking to make themselves rich. Some are, don't get me wrong, but they're not looking to make themselves rich. They're looking to make a little bit extra money while meeting people. So Airbnb is your friend to save money when you're traveling. Now, if you want to go the extra mile for the adventure and you want to do campgrounds, do campgrounds. They're also cheaper than a hotel. You will get a little bit extra work because you either have to have a tent or you have to sleep in your car. You don't get a private bathroom and all of these little trinkets that you get at a hotel or even in an Airbnb. Airbnbs, you can have a shared bathroom or a private bathroom depending, but you get to choose all of that. Like I said, I'm going to attach this link to the description below. I have my Airbnb code there, so if you click on it and you have never opened an account with Airbnb, you will get, I think it's $15 credit for your first reservation. So take advantage of that, then pass it to your friends, and then you get to save money on that. In regards to everything else, just be smart. If you want to take money, if you want to like go shopping and like get little trinkets, like I said, I collect postcards, and I always separate money. Just make yourself a budget. You know, say, okay, in this, if I'm going to go through 3 states, I'm going to spend $50 in each state, no more. And that's an average. It doesn't have to be that. It could be more, it could be less, depending on your budget. But the point of the deal is that you get to spend some money in things that you want. You get to explore the city or town sometimes. You get to explore. Consider it that if you go to, like, for example, I'm looking right now at my blog, and in the background I have the Monoma Falls. I love the Monoma Falls, one of my favorite places in the United States. This is in Oregon. And I went there, and I went to the gift shop, and I wanted to buy some things, and I was like, but I've already spent so much money. So no, so I restrained myself from spending money on certain things that I wanted, because I had spent a lot more money that I wanted in Canada. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful that things will happen. Make yourself a budget, and make yourself a stretch budget. Basically, it's that wiggle room that you have, and then still be mindful. Consider that if you don't spend that much money in one place because you're so excited about the next one, then you could spend more money in the next one. So just be mindful of your money. Be mindful of where you stay. Be mindful of where you eat. Be mindful of a lot of things. A lot of things are going to be out of your control. Gas. You know, obviously in a road trip, you're going to be using a lot of gas. So sometimes you're going to stop at a gas station because you need to. And turns out that a mile down the road, it was cheaper. But you didn't know that. It's okay. These things happen. So just be mindful that you're going to need a lot of gas. Know your car. Know whether it runs down faster after a quarter or not. That way you're not stressed. And sometimes, and that happened to me only once actually, that I end up putting gas at a gas station that I knew it was way overpriced, but it was my own fault. So be mindful of those little things. There are the little things that will decide whether you spend more money than you should or whether you save money. So be very mindful of that. And like I said many times before, I'm going to include the link to these blogs in the description below. If you have any comments or questions, put them down below in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer any questions or just talk about tricks to travel the roads. This is the last video of this series. I'm going to start either a new series or something else next week. I haven't thought about it yet. If you have any recommendations, absolutely let me know. But I hope you all have a great week. Bye.